he was managing an event that LANY was headlining, and he needed an opener. And he was like, dude, you want to open for LANY? And I was like, of course, sure. I didn't have any music though. I was just like making random stuff. And so he's like, okay, it's in 2 weeks. Like, we got to do this.
What the
hell?
Like, how does that happen? It's like, hey, I don't have any music, but sure. What's up, guys? Xavier here with you on the How'd You Do It podcast, and I'm honored to welcome Herdwell's very own original signing. Goes by the name of Could Ever. You may have heard us posting about him. He's right here. How are you, mate?
I'm great.
Looking great.
Thank you.
So you know what? I've always been meaning. So I hear the name Could Ever, like every day, right? And I remember when I first started at Herdwell about 2 years ago, almost, and I would hear the name, and I didn't know what people were saying. It sounded like Could Ever, Could Ever, Could Ever. And I'm like, yo, what are you saying? They're like, Could Ever. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I've been meaning to ask you for 2 years, where did that name come from?
It stems from this idea of, could I ever get better?
Right.
And it's this feeling that I'm sure we've all experienced when you're feeling stuck or isolated, whether it's like a season that you're in life, or like trying to become some kind of artist, or become like, it could be work related, it can be like your location, but there are seasons in life where we're like stuck. You just feel this ceiling, like
Sure.
I can't get out of this town, or like I can't get this job, or I like can't deal with this relationship and can't be successful. And it's this whole idea of like, could I ever actually change who I am to improve, and could I ever get better and get out of this? And so a lot of the music always points back to that, this idea of like feeling stuck, feeling alone, and not feeling like you can move forward.
So it's, I mean, that definitely from listening to your songs, that really matches the lyrical content, you know? That's great. Okay, cool. I was about to ask you what's going on with you right now, and I'm going to assume that it's all about the new track, 77 BPM. So tell me about that one, man.
It was a really fun song to make. It kind of just all came together. I record everything in my car, which we can talk about later because that's a whole nother story. But the song really is, it's about a like manipulative relationship and being stuck in one with someone that you like love and admire and want to please, but that person is also controlling you and almost like playing you like a marionette. And so it's this whole idea of wanting to say what you really mean to this person, and it just bottles up inside of you. And a lot of the music, and it ends up with me out on the road. It's like a film, you know, like a lot of the songs I visualize, and so like parts of the song are me out on the road, just like screaming into the nothingness, just wanting to say what I always have wanted to say to this person, but when I'm with them, I can't. Right. I have to shut up.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Mate, so tell me how, I mean, all I know is that you signed to Herdwell probably 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How did you start? How did you get connected with Herdwell? How did you get connected with Connor Franta? Like, how did this all like come together?
It's a bit of a whirlwind, and it all kind of just happened so fast and so uniquely, and so many different like puzzle pieces fit together. It's so important. Like, it's taught me like when you come into interaction with different people, it's important to be like super intentional, because you literally never know what the connections are later. So I've always made music. It's always been kind of my journal, you know, like it's the song that I'll write to kind of listen to myself. It's kind of weird. Like I know a lot of people listen to their own music because they're like super into it, but I'll just need to like get it out of my system. And so I'll write a song and then play it and sing it. And that's kind of my like therapy in a way. So I did that all through school, and a friend who was on my floor had like heard me just like making beats late into the night, making like chill wave instrumentals. I used
like
to do
floor
a
of
ton
an
of
apartment or something?
Of our college dorm.
Oh, dorm, right.
Yeah. And I think, let's see, what was the connection like? A couple years after that, he was managing an event that LANY was headlining, and he needed an opener, and he was like, dude, you want to open for LANY? And I was like, of course, sure. I didn't have any music though. I was just like making random stuff. And so he's like, okay, it's in 2 weeks. Like, we got to do this.
What the hell? How does that happen? It's like, hey, I don't have any music, but sure.
Yeah, because he was like, I know, I've heard you doing this stuff. Like, you know, I think it would be sick, and it would be totally in the vibe of what they're doing. Because back then it was like their first EP that has since been taken down. If you're watching this, LANY, come on, guys, put it back. And yeah, so he was like, I just need someone to open. And so in 2 weeks, I got with my buddy Stuart, and he taught me everything about like live performance, like making songs for live performance. I had never done that before, and I just learned so much through that experience. And then 2 weeks later, I was in Virginia at the time. We flew out to LA, played the show, and then came back. And the show was insane. Like, everyone was going nuts and loved the music. And so in kind of the heat of the moment, I was like, we're going to make an album. Like, we're going to do this.
Your first gig was opening for LANY in LA?
Yes.
What venue?
It was at Biola. It was at a university. So it was like a weird semi-open, semi-private.
Right. Were they small?
event.
Were they a lot smaller?
They were
then?
small then.
Right,
yeah.
right.
They were just like, yeah, I
Cool.
don't, they hadn't blown up. I think it was
Right.
2015.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then the connection to Herdwell is I'm a filmmaker. That's my day job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working on a project with one of the former art directors here for his like senior thesis in Arizona. And I went out and like shot his film. And then like 2 years later, he was like, hey man, I've been working for this label.
Is this Edgar?
Yeah.
Right.
And he was like, dude, I've been waiting to put your music in front of them for like 2 years. And like this week is the right week. So he calls me up out of nowhere. I haven't talked to this dude in like 3 years.
Wow.
And maybe 4. And he's like, what have you been up to? And I was like, not much, man. You know, just making music. And he just laid it on. He was like, dude, got this opportunity. I think I want to put your music forward for it. Like, send me all your latest stuff. And so I sent all the stuff, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, man, here's what's going to happen. I am going to sign off myself, say goodbye, and say a massive thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your questions. Love you too. Could is going to jump up and play the latest single.
That's it.
I'm going to invite you to go up and just go and get set up. I'm going to
That's it.
jump out. Thanks so much. Keep your eyes averted. Stay tuned. This guy's going to play live.
Hey, what's up? I'm Could. This is my guitar, Antonio B. Jellingsworth, and I'm going to play my new song, 77 BPM. I can't ever say the way I feel when you ask to my face. I'm hiding what I bury deep in my soul. I can't ever entertain the words you say when you're so fake. I'm sick and tired of playing games with my heart. When I'm all alone, put this record on and I shout out at the road, say words I'm not supposed to, and think about my life, think about you out of it, tread into the night at 77 BPM. Ooh. I can't ever hear your name without it bringing so much pain. I'm always drowning in my shame. I'm drowning. How long will you haunt me, scream my name when I'm not ready? Claw your way into my every waking moment. When I'm all alone, put this record on and I shout out at the road, say words I'm not supposed to, think about my life, think about you out of it, tread into the night at 77 BPM. Yeah. I'm afraid to tell you how I feel, so I'll keep it all inside. Honestly, if they could be more real, maybe
wash out at the road.
You!
Yeah.
If you like what you saw, make sure you check out some of our other videos right here, and also be sure to subscribe to our channel right here for new videos coming out every week.